All right, Jesse on fire. So Power Slap. We've talked about this a fair amount, but I think the jury was out on how we thought it was going to do. Well, no, I thought it was going to fail. I'll reiterate on this channel or on this video what I think about Power Slap, but apparently it's blowing up. It's blowing up, and I don't know if everybody. I think people have been assessing this wrong, and I was assessing this wrong also, just in terms of the success or failure of the show. And it's really interesting to talk about because it is actually blowing up much bigger than I had thought, and I don't know how that makes me feel. And I haven't really talked about Power Slap a lot since the first video, and now I've seen a little bit more of it, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more. That's what we're doing on this video, man. That's what we're doing. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't yet. That's the deal. You are my viewers. The agreement we make is you subscribe and you can watch all of my content. If you're just watching it and you don't click subscribe, you're just doing it out of spite, and that's mean. So be like the 90% of people who live up to the agreement and go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and then you can watch this video and all my other ones. So thank you very much. The first one's free. You don't have to subscribe on the very first video. Anyway, so here's the deal. So I thought that how we were going to assess Power Slap was strictly going to be based on the ratings on television. That was short-sighted. And honestly, I didn't even really think about the fact that media can exist in other places besides on television now. And this should have been common sense, especially something like Power Slap, where you could put on Power Slap for literally nearly nothing, right? Like there's not a high cost structure to put on Power Slap if you wanted to tighten it up a little bit. But so you got a season of Power Slap, and I don't know, the TV ratings I don't think are doing super well. But someone sent me this today, okay? Someone sent me the numbers that it's doing on TikTok, okay? So TikTok is a good way to gauge how young people are, feeling about it. So on TikTok, I'm just going to read to you what these numbers are. First one, 1.2 million. Second one, 32 million. Next one, 1.3 million. Next one, 1.6 million. Next one, 1.8 million. Next one, 42 million. Next one, 10 million. Next one, 2.1 million. Next one, 2.2 million. Next one, 4.5 million. Next one, 172 million. Next one, 17.5 million. Those are the views just on this one little group of videos on Power Slap's TikTok. So what does that tell us? That tells us that Power Slap is a success. Contrary to what everybody, I think, believed, it's a success. And if you don't understand why, that's because you don't understand the way that, content metrics work, okay? There are many more ways to make money now than just putting it on television, okay? So let me just break this down like this. So what is the television business model, right? A channel buys your show, right? So you present a show, because I've gone, obviously I know most people know this. I sold a show to Esquire. They did the pilot, and then Esquire went under before we could actually go to series. I also was on another reality show, but I was much less involved with the creation of the show. I was just talent. But for this one, I was a creator and executive producer. We sold the show to Esquire, did the pilot. If you want to watch it, it's called Startup. You just look up Startup Jesse on Fire. You'll find it. It's the one that has like just a thumbnail of just my face. Okay. It's the one that looks like someone just like uploaded some random thing. That's the one. So the way that it works is you bring a concept generally, like if you're a person like me, you bring it to a production company, right? So in my case, it was All 3 Media. I bring it to the production company, and you get one of the, executive producers to take it on. They'll pay to come and shoot a sizzle reel, which is essentially a very condensed version of your show. Okay. So call it 8 to, anywhere from 4 to like 10 minutes max, which is the show condensed. And then you take the sizzle and you take it around to all the networks. Okay, so you go to TBS, you go to TNT, you go to Fox, you go to CBS, whatever, and you're like, this is our show. Take a look. What do you think? And if they like it, they will buy a pilot. So they will, they'll pay your production company and you'll have all your costs. You're like, look, to do the pilot, it's going to be $450,000. And then that includes whatever profit that your company is going to make, all your crew, etc. So there's some profit baked into the pilot. So The channel will then buy the pilot. You take the money, you go shoot the pilot, and then you deliver it to them. You owe them the pilot. They watch the pilot, then they decide if they want to take it to series, which is what will actually go on television. And they pay for the season, plus there's some profit in there, and then you get, like, the production company gets share of ad revenue or whatnot. I'm pretty sure. I don't know that for 100% sure that they get ad revenue written in, or it might just be that once, if there's a successful season and they know how much money the network made, then they get to charge much more for future seasons. It could be like that. I don't know. Or maybe both. But either way, that's how it works, right? So now, okay, like that's the tried and true way that you do a television show, okay? So what's the vehicle for actually generating the money, right? Oh, well, the network buys it. Wrong. Okay? The network buys it because you sell advertising on it, okay? The network makes a call that your show will generate a certain number of eyeballs, and they know what that translates into ad revenue. They look at your show, what kind of advertisers will we get for this, and then they are doing all kind of metrics, and then if your show performs well, then they're able to sell advertising on said show for X price, and that's how they figure out if it makes sense to buy the show or not. So, can you sell advertising any other way besides on television now? You guys know I come on here, I'm like, look at, like, I'm just going to drop, this is a freebie, dude. Kratom, Sheath, Manscaped, Swag It, I don't know, like Athletic Greens, all the advertisers that you hear me talk about on here, they're paying me, right? That's how you're generating money. So if you're getting 170 million views on a TikTok, take a guess what you can sell advertising space for on your TikToks. A lot, dude. A lot. Now, could you run UFC on just ad revenue? No, of course not. Okay. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not 100% sure that you could run Power Slap on just ad revenue. I don't know if they can make that make sense from a business perspective, but here's what I would say personally is, let's say it's not going to get picked up by TBS. Okay. Well, right now you have Jason Herzog reffing. You have Michael Bisping as a commentator. And let me just say this. I'm going to shit on Power Slap right now, and I feel kind of guilty doing it because I love Bisping. Bisping has been nothing but good to me. I love that guy. I consider him a really good buddy. He's helped me immensely on my channel, and you will never hear me say a negative word about Bisping. Bisping could make 10 videos about me like, fuck Jesse. I hate that guy. I never liked him. He's a piece of shit, and I would never respond. I just wouldn't. I love that guy, no matter what. He helped me a lot. He really did. That's the reason I have all these sponsors. It's because of Bisping. But so me shitting on Power Slap when he works there, I don't feel good about it. That's why I have to give a prerequisite, or a preamble about it, because I feel like I'm betraying him because he works there. But fuck Power Slap, dude. I'm sorry. Fuck Power Slap. I hate it. I fucking hate it. I hate it. And I hate it more because he's there. And I hate it because Herzog's there. And I hate it because fucking Dana's there. I hate everything about fucking Power Slap. And I hate it specifically because it cheapens everything about the thing I really love, which is mixed martial arts. I hate it. And I explain it to people, and the thing is, with lots of people, I don't have to explain it. I really don't. There are lots of people I don't have to explain it. I don't like naming people that I talk to offline, but people that you know very well, they, with unprompted, have said the same thing to me, which is like, what on earth are our judges doing there? That's a verbatim quote from someone you know very well. What are our judges doing on that fucking show? And I'm like, exactly, dude. Exactly. Now, I feel a little bit weird saying ours. He certainly could say ours. I say more UFC. I consider myself a fan, not like a person directly involved, as I wear a UFC fucking beanie. But you know what I'm saying. Like, but it is ours. Like, the MMA community in general. I'm not talking about like just people who have fought in the UFC or whatever. Like, it's ours. Like, the UFC shit's ours. Power Slap, dude, come on. Don't put it next to fucking UFC or MMA in general. That's why I hate it so. I hate Power Slap. And then the fact that UFC is so directly tied to it makes me, it amplifies how much I hate it by 100. Because again, and I'll just sometimes I make this mistake of assuming people have seen like all of my videos. So I'm like, I already said this on another video, so I don't want to repeat it. But I'm just going to, for people who have not heard me talk about this, I will repeat it. Okay. I genuinely believe there is nobility in the violent threat that exists in MMA. Like, and I don't even think I need to qualify that with you guys. But my point is, if you go into an event knowing that you have the ability to avoid damage through the skills that you've developed, okay? And what the contest is to see who can deliver the most damage while avoiding the most damage from a lifetime of training skills. What that looks like to me is it looks like it looks like an athletic human chess match with absolutely dire consequences, because getting kicked in the head, you do not want to get kicked in the head for every reason that is obvious. You don't want to get punched in the face for every reason that's obvious. Getting punched in the breaking your nose hurts. Bad. The ability to fight through pain like that is another additional bonus when you are watching mixed martial arts. Someone's hurt. They're on their last leg. They can barely walk. Dustin Poirier against Justin Gaethje comes to mind. He can barely stand up, but he's going out anyway because of every fighter, it's going to be impossible for me to talk about, not tangent, but of every fighter in the UFC, game bred. If you guys don't know what game bred, if you just think, oh, game bred, Masvidal, right? But what game bred actually means is it's a term that describes it's a dog fighting term, and it describes a dog who will never stop fighting no matter what. Like, there are certain dogs where they could literally have 3 broken legs, and when they when they hold the dogs and they let them go, that dog will drag himself to the middle of the ring and fight the other dog with one leg with no chance to win at all. They'll have their jaws broken, their eye hanging out, and they will drag them. They will never stop fighting till they're dead. That's what a game-bred dog is. Dustin Poirier, the Gaethje fight, could not even stand up, dude. Never even considered throwing in the towel. He just goes in there and he won. And he won that fight and that's what I'm saying. Okay? That's why I love that's why I love mixed martial arts. It's like, let's see what this guy's got. Like, what is he built out of? How much preparation did he do? Right? How is he going to perform now that the lights are on? Like, the lights are on now. How are you going to perform? How's he going to handle the nerves? What's he going to do? You know what I mean? What's he going to do? And, and taking the punishment is part of the ultimate test that you can put a person through, right? That's why there's nobility in it. Power slap. It's like, hey, dude, stand here, don't defend yourself, and let this monster slap your face as hard as he can. There's no preparation. There's no nothing. Like, if you get knocked out doing power slap, do you look at the guy like, whoa, man, that guy got knocked? Or are you just like, well, of course he got knocked out? And if a person knocks a guy out, do you go, whoa, what a boss? No. I would hope that you could knock a person out who's not defending themselves. And the associated head trauma is obviously completely not worth it for this sport. So, I mean, that's why I hate it. Like, I hate it. And I hate it, again, because because all those guys are involved, and it just runs so counter to what I love with UFC. And I'm never negative about UFC. Never. And I'm not being negative about UFC. But I can't speak honestly about Power Slap without speaking honestly about Power Slap. And of course, I want Bisping to make as much money as possible. I want, obviously I'd probably disqualify myself for life now. But if someone offered me a check to go commentate it, I probably would. I'm not a perfect person. But I don't like it, dude. I really don't like it. I don't like it at all for that reason. So, But they're doing numbers like that on TikTok. That is a sign that it's doing a lot better than we thought, dude. It's doing a lot better than we thought. So, anyway, that is what I got.